All right, so it's finally happening. We've got 100% confirmed info about the next Dead Rails update, and it's coming tomorrow, June 20th. For me, that's around 9 p.m., but if you're unsure what time that is in your time zone, you can just hop into the official Discord and ask the question helpers. They'll give you an exact answer for your region. So yeah, literally one day left, and we already know for sure about a couple things. First of all, and I know a lot of you have been hoping for this, we're getting new trains, and not just one, but multiple. That's right, new types of trains are finally coming. I've personally been waiting for this kind of content, and based on your comments, you guys were asking for it too. And now we've got confirmation straight from Rico Miller, the creator of Dead Rails himself. If you want proof, again, go to the questions section in the Discord, look up Rico's messages, and you'll see him talking about the upcoming train types. This isn't speculation anymore, it's real, but that's not all. We're also finally getting new types of horses, which I think is super overdue. Let's be honest, other than the unicorn and a few color swaps, horses don't really have that much variety right now. So I'm definitely glad they're expanding on that. And of course, we're also getting new challenges, probably connected to bonds. So we can use those bonds to unlock the new trains or maybe other gear. The exact types of trains and horses haven't been leaked or revealed yet, and even though they're already on the test server, the devs aren't allowing players to share details from there. So it's under wraps for now. That's why today's video is more focused on concepts, ideas that might show up in tomorrow's update, and even if they don't, they're based on the suggestions tab in the official Discord, which is actually where devs often pull ideas from. If you've watched my earlier videos, you've heard me say that before. Sorry for repeating it. But I just want newer viewers to understand that these aren't random concepts I made up. They're based on real community input. So yeah, before we jump into the breakdown of the train and horse concepts, if you're enjoying the video so far or just appreciate the effort, feel free to subscribe. We're really close to hitting 10,000 subs, and it would mean a lot to hit that milestone soon. Thanks for checking out the video. Let's get into it. Let's start with the trains, and first up, the one you probably already saw in the thumbnail, the cannon train. So basically, this train is kind of a mix between a regular train and the armored train. But instead of turrets, it's got cannons. And here's the fun part. You can actually move the cannons between different parts of the train. Want them in front? Done. Want to move them to the side or the back? You can do that too. It's more flexible, and while it won't have the full armor protection of the armored train, it'll be a bit faster and cheaper. Probably around 230 bonds. The trade-off is that while cannons are powerful, they fire slower than turrets. So you'll have to think tactically. Honestly, I love this concept. If you want to tweak it or have suggestions, let me know in the comments. I read everything, and if I like your idea, I'll definitely drop a like on it. Next up is a fun one from the community, the auto driving train. Now this one drives itself, but it's slower than manual driving. The cool part is that you can boost its speed by buying temporary boost in the general store, like for $50 or whatever the devs decide. And these boosts stack up to 7 times, giving it a decent speed increase, up to 1.5x. So yeah, you trade off manual control for some automation, but if you're willing to spend a little, it can still compete with other trains. And now, my personal favorite, the ironclad train. Think of this like a land version of a warship. It's covered in thick metal plating, practically bulletproof. It's armed to the teeth. We're talking 4 cannons, 2 on each side, and 8 machine guns, 3 on each side and 1 front and back. This thing is a moving fortress. Now, just like the armored train, it's very slow, and it eats up fuel just as fast, if not more, but in return, you've got insane defense and offensive capabilities. Ammo-wise, 16 rounds for the machine guns, 2 per gun, and 4 cannons with only 1 shot each. There's a cutout section like the size of a door for boarding expected bond price. 345. It's not for quick getaways, but if you want a true powerhouse, this is the one. Alright, I want to bring back a concept I mentioned in an earlier video, just because it fits so well now with all these new trains. It's not a train itself, it's a structure idea. The abandoned Western train station. Picture an old broken station with shattered tracks, debris, and abandoned loot inside. Great for scavenging, but also a dangerous ambush spot. Could be a cool location for those quick mid-game loot grabs. Again, I've shown this idea before, but with all the new content coming, I think it deserves another look. Let me know your own train ideas too. I seriously think this is one of the coolest areas for creative updates, and I'd love to hear what wild train types you guys can come up with. Now, let's get into horse types, starting with the one from the thumbnail, the zombie horse. By default, it's about the same speed as a regular horse, but here's the twist. If you give it a blood potion, it gets significantly faster. But there's a catch. To stop it from becoming hostile or just slowing down, you need to feed it zombie blood regularly. That also buffs its speed again. So it's got a cool gameplay loop. You feed it, it runs fast, and if you ignore it, it becomes unreliable. Definitely more interesting than a plain old horse. That one's my own concept, by the way. If you think it could be improved or want to suggest changes, drop your version in the comments. Another idea I've talked about before but still think would be cool, the flying horse. I know, sounds crazy, but hear me out. The game already has unicorns, zombies, UFOs, so flying isn't too far off. The way I'd balance it is by giving it a flight stamina bar. It can only fly for 15 seconds, and after that it starts slowly falling. Once it's grounded, it actually runs slower than a normal horse until you give it another milk potion, which recharges its ability to fly. So it brings actual value to milk potions, which right now are kind of useless unless you're using the milkman class. So yeah, both of these horse ideas bring something new to the table. New mechanics, new strategy, and they actually make potions matter more. Now real quick, let's talk about a concept that's not confirmed for tomorrow's update, but one I really hope gets added down the line. A new weather type, Tornado Nights. Picture this. You're out at night, and suddenly a massive tornado appears. If you're not in shelter, you take about 10 damage every 4 seconds. If you walk directly into the tornado, well, good luck. It'll launch you into the air just like it would with mobs. Total chaos. But super fun and adds a new danger element to night runs. And just before we wrap up, there's one more concept I couldn't leave out. A new structure idea. The Saloon. It spawns like regular houses, but way rarer, around 7 times less likely. And when you find one, it's packed with unique NPCs. A barista who pulls out a Mauser if you attack, steal, or attract zombies. 5 to 10 outlaws will instantly fight back if provoked. A pianist who just plays until chaos happens. Then he whips out a revolver. As for loot inside, a bunch of potions, 1 to 2 snake oils, 2 to 5 bonds, and a brand new item. The piano, like the banjo but with 16 notes, sells for $45. And yeah, new potions too. Yellow plus 10% melee damage for 20 seconds. Slight screen blur minus 15 HP sells for $30. Red plus 10% speed, blur, 20 HP, also $30. White plus 10% speed, and melee, heavy blur, minus 30 HP. Orange plus 40% HP for 25 seconds, with blur, seeds, inverted colors, negative 60 HP dance potion. Mix orange potion plus unicorn blood, throw it to make enemies walk in circles for 25 seconds. And one last idea, fallen safe zones. Any safe zone except the first one has a chance to spawn as a fallen base full of zombies. No restock, no safety, and if you stay the night, mobs walk in and out freely. Comes with a new achievement. Safe zone is sometimes unsafe. Reward: 5 bonds and 3 stars. Let me know what you think, and if you'd survive that kind of saloon ambush or cursed safe zone. Update tomorrow. See you there.